And the nerds are ready. Our main event of the evening. It's been a long night already. It's been a long day of video games. I'm very, very, very happy I took that tiny break after the first clamor of WTL Code S. Otherwise, you guys would have had a very dead ruddy. No, I think we can make it. I think the series has good potential. Moja is ready. SortOf is ready. 150 bucks for the winner. 50 for the loser. Let's do it. I have to think about it, Quinton Suit. Because, I mean, I don't want to dive into it, but I'm really not a big fan of these subathons. But I also want to make you happy, so I don't know yet. But subathons is not something I am incredibly fond of. But we'll discuss it after the games. How does that sound? I'll take a look at who's live. If there's somebody else, if one of the BASILISK boys is live, I'll give you back your points. If they are not live, then I guess I can do it for you. But I'm not a subathon fan. But that's not relevant to this best of 5. Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
Oceanborn is going to be our starting battleground. In the top left side, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran. A man who I think created a fan or two with his home Story Cup appearance. He was fun to cast with, and he played some fantastic games while he was a big underdog against players like Gerald. I would say one of the highlights of the opening 2 days was incredibly fun to watch. It's Moja. Has played in the BBB twice before. I think he lost to Nemshar and he did beat somebody else once. Actually, he recently played against Kukut, right? Yeah, okay, but that Kukut was a bit of an underdog, and I kind of forgot how good Moja is, and I also didn't know that Moja played so freaking much lately, and that he was this good, so there was no shame in that at all for Kukut. In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who recently got his very first BBB invite ever. I made him play against Mana. I didn't know that he did not like ZVP at all, and obviously Mana is still a goat, so I figured that wasn't perfect matchmaking by me. This one should be a lot better, not Cuckoo. Kukut. Kukut, Cuckoo. There is a Kukut, and that's not you. So this man has another shot. He said he likes a ZVT and he feels pretty confident coming into this one. This is SortOf, a Swedish Zerg. Mr. Mechanics. Spent a lot of time over in Korea. Has been streaming a decent amount as well. Let's see. I expect a lot of 8-racks here. Hydra 1, Timeless. Hydra 1, 3-2. He was up 2-0 and it went to game 5. But he closed it out in game 5 with the same build as he used in game 1. Moja already announced on the caster desk that he's a big fan of the 8-racks. And that there is a good chance that if he plays TVZ, he's gonna 8-racks a whole bunch. SortOf obviously knows. Earlier today, Lambo already said he knew. But the beauty of 8-racksing in TVZ is that even when you know it's coming, it's incredibly difficult to stop. So, similar to some of the Protocol ins where someone can tell you in the beginning of the game, this is how they're gonna play. That doesn't make it easy to deal with it. I sort of snuck a couple of links to the other side of the map, but he's gonna see here with his overlord that this is not the moment to commit. The depot has been raised. And we will take it from there. Moja is actually the one who suggested SortOf while I was casting with him, and we're talking about some of the times that he played in the BBB. And he said he would have liked to play Mr. Mechanics. Well, here we have it. Perhaps a case of be careful what you wish for, but I think he's fired up. It's always nice when someone like Moja has been around for such a long time, and at one point it felt that he was a bit burned out at Starcraft and he's kind of stepped away from the game. Found back his joy, and he's playing a lot more, perhaps even more than he's ever played before. I think that's always very cool. I actually didn't see what you wrote before you had Ravi, but I see it now. So yeah, we had a redemption, but I'll think about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll let the universe decide. Doesn't really matter, right? It's just a raid. We always raid. And if it's not your time today, then it will be your time the next day. So Moja obviously not getting a lot done with his Reapers. Maybe he was a bit scared about the fact that SortOf went full first and he was worried something was hitting him. We knew that other than a few slow Zerglings, that really wasn't the case. But I guess for Moja it's a little bit harder to figure that out. He didn't want to take the risk. So he's just kind of in the dark and he's chilling. 5 minutes into Oceanborn. Not quite the same craziness as we just had between Nicaragua and Art, but what not is could still come. SortOf also knows about Moja and his love for the 8-Rex. He joked about it in the DMs. And he said that he has a pretty good idea of what he likes to do against it. There will be a proper old school dance of execution. He's sort of the best Swedish player at the moment. Fjont is definitely getting good, but I think SortOf might still be a little bit more complete and definitely a lot more experienced. Nemshar is back in Sweden, and I think it's very close between Nemshar and SortOf. They're different, but I think their skill is pretty similar. Yeah, it's definitely not the same as the glory days of Swedish Starcraft, where we had Naniwa and Thorzane that were not just good in Europe, but were two of the best players in the world. Think back of Heypro, Jinro. Sweden used to be absolutely providing us with some of the very best players worldwide. Right now it's a tiny bit of a dip when it comes to the RTS talent. Jinro is very big into MMA. Mad Frog was incredibly early days. If I think of Mad Frog, I really think a lot more about him as the Warcraft 3 player. Because in Warcraft 3 he was a god, he was ahead of his time. He did some amazing things that we've never really seen before. In Starcraft 2 I kind of felt that he just was in a privileged position because of his Warcraft 3 legacy status, and obviously he played some good games. Not the same as his Warcraft 3 career. Currently working with a double eBay as the armory is going to come online, and now all the extra barracks are going to get planted in the main. What can Moja do? 6 Hellions could morph into a Hellbat. Still has all the Reapers. It's been such a passive game. Only 3 Zerglings going down. We have 5 Banelings. They are slow Banes for now. SortOf has a few units in the top side of the map. The Queens were a little bit out of position and now realize that he might need a few more Banelings. That might not be the safest spot to morph those Banelings, as Moja's going to try to split his Hellbats. I want to say those splits were okay. One of the Banelings does make it through, but SortOf is already running out of units. He needs these extra Banes, and the extra Banes are going to finish up. And that is what is going to keep him safe for now. Don't know if I love this for SortOf though. You guys love it? That's a lot of Rex, by the way, on the production tab. So we had 2, we had 3 in the main, we have 3 in the third. I don't know. Perhaps basic math is not my strongest suit, but I'm pretty certain that adds up to 8. 3, 3, and 2 sounds like 8, but hey. Who am I, guys? Feel free to correct me. Moja also became a mythical fighter in one game of the Home Story Cup, where he went down to 30 SCVs. Instead of rebuilding some, he just stayed on 30 for another 12 minutes. He played freaking amazing. Never seen one man produce that many units of 30 SCVs. SortOf already at least having a better start than he had in any of the games against Mana, because those games were just kind of over right off the very get-go. The oracles and the adepts just found way too much, and we knew that holding certain follow-ups was going to be impossible. This should be a series that will make SortOf his heart beat a little faster, and overall it should be a lot closer, a lot more dramatic. We haven't had a single 3-0 yet. I don't expect a 3-0 between these two guys. I feel like it's too close, but every time I say that there is a 3-0, so I should probably keep my mouth shut. 3 tanks, 38 Marines against 19 Banes, 10 extra Banes on the way from Mr. Mechanics, who's working with double Evo at this point, setting up a tiny run-by or a flank. Banelings connecting with the Marines. This is already looking scary. Obviously, Moja never started 2-2. He had a quick armory because he morphed those. Actually, sorry, he's got 2-2. I'm an idiot. I stand corrected. The man has 2-2, so it's 2-2 against 1-1, and he does fire up 3-3. Banelings are going to come in from the left side. There's not that many Marines, but a nice micro by Moja. He is kind of missing firepower. Sort of his little run by Moja is paying attention, and he's not quite ready yet to fall down to 30 SCVs. We're gonna have to raise that depot eventually, though, and well, he just turns around, creates the body block. Feels bad to be one of those 5 SCVs. +2 carapace about to finish up. It's a little bit ahead of melee. SortOf has not fired up a hive. He does have an infestation pit. Sets up another run-by. SortOf is good friends with some of the finest Zergs in Europe. The Lambos, the Lasers, and Reynor, of course, as well. So I'm sure they've tried to help him a little bit, and he's going to try to execute their advice. But often in Starcraft 2, things are a lot easier said than done. Well, he's finding very good value, right, with these counters. These are good. Moja is really focused on his setup in the center. This is the army that Moja wants to win the game with. As he has dealt with most of those links, SortOf is sending it. It's a lot of banelings coming in from the left and top right. And he's gonna get the wraparound on every single tank. Now finds connections with the Marines too. But there are some more Marines coming in. There's another tank coming in. Supplies are freaking close. That was everything that SortOf had, guys. For a split second, that is everything that SortOf had. He's got +2 melee now. His 8 Banes of Morphing fires up the hive. Maybe just because he's floating a little bit. I'd say either we should have done that sooner or now not at all. But we get the wraparound. The Banes finish up. They get decent connections. But some Marines survive. 1 tank survived. Oh my goodness. It's the final guys with a gun with 1 tank. The tank does fall. But we need more units on the side of SortOf. Couple of banelings. Are they all going to get sniped? It's drama already. It is so freaking close. It's so freaking tense. But this is Moja and his 8 Rex. It seems like it's going to be Moja and his 8 Rex unless these banelings finish up. Moja is just kind of splitting. He doesn't really want to gun them down. He just wants these Banes to finish up as he feels he's got enough. But now the Queens and the Zerglings. Oh man, there's so many Marines more coming in. Oh my, this is Omega close. It is Omega close. Can we take care of these final Marines? The guy with the gun 10 seconds away from having +3 attack and +3 carapace. SortOf is kind of pushing it back, but he needs to go back, I think. He needs to go back. He can't fight this close to the reinforcements of Moja. His 8 Rex is pumping out 10, 12 Marines at a time. Nice hard pickup there by Moja, who is actually forced to pick everything up for a split second. And SortOf holds. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. Hive is done. Fires up with Reynor Clans immediately, but Moja obviously ain't done yet. We are aware of the mythical fighter that Moja is with 30 SCVs. He's got a lot more than 30. He's gonna siege up another tank on the edge of 3. Baning count is 5. That is not very high. The medevacs are working overtime. Ooh, SortOf. Maybe this was a bit too early. Maybe this was a tiny bit too early. That's a lot of very healthy Marines. Can any of the banelings connect? No, because we have no more banelings. It's 7 Zerglings, it's 8 Queens, SortOf on hive deck, waiting for +3 carapace, waiting for Adrenal Glands. Got so close. What the Marine, guys. It's so freaking good. Moja finds the final morphing banelings as well, and it's the German Terran Moja who gets it done with his favorite build. Wow. That was Omega close. What a fight. What a fight. Well done, Moja. Olivera would be proud. Slow start, but the last few minutes absolutely delivered. That's Oceanborn, though. There's obviously a decent Terran map. Not every Terran likes it. Some Terrans complain about the 6th base. That is a bit too hard to secure the 6th base. I don't think Moja is going to take a lot of 6th bases tonight. And let's see what game 2 will be. I believe I have a map order for you guys. Alcyone map 2. Amphion map 3. Crimson Court map 4. And if it gets there, we're going to decide it all on post-youth. No, that's okay, mate. That's okay. Even if we would dive into the deep end of it, like, I'm not going to agree why Subatons are awesome or not. To each their own, mate. To each their own. If it's Jason's birthday, I think it would actually be kind of nice to host Jason. And I can always host Neuro on a different day. When there is no Subaton. And it's just a regular Neuro stream. Because I do think Neuro is awesome. He's a great guy and I've rated him many times in the past. He's rated me many times. But we don't have to get too deep into it. Game 2 will be played on Alcyone. Obviously not a best of 3, this is a best of 5. Moja SortOf. Moja showed us what he likes, what he's going to do. I think SortOf had a very good game plan against the 8 Rex. Perhaps at one point we could have snuck in a few more Banes in the counter, a few more links. And it's not even about the damage you deal, but whenever you just force the Terran to defend, when you force them to micro at home, it is incredibly hard for them to also stim and micro effectively in the front lines. So that's often the real power of those run-bys.
Round 2, fight!
Top right side of Alcyone, the German Terran, taking the 1-0 lead in his first ever main event, but I think a very well-deserved invite after his great showing at the Home Story Cup. It is a Moja. And in the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of a Swedish Zerg. Trying to switch things up here. No more pull first. We're going to go heads first. That was close though. And I think he knows he was incredibly close to getting the job done. Especially with Hive and those Hive Tech upgrades. We were perhaps a minute away from getting the job done. It's a SortOf, also known as Mr. Mechanics. Is he still officially on Root Gaming, by the way, guys? Are we still doing that? I haven't really heard almost anything of Root in quite some time. I know there was a small period where they kind of shifted their focus to becoming more of like a tournament organizer, and then players that were on Root were allowed to play in exclusive Root Gaming tournaments. But I think even that is gone. I'm not totally certain. I know that Katz is obviously busy with Zero Space. Or at least he was busy with Zero Space. I don't know how busy he's been with it recently, but I don't know what the timeline is on that. This feels like it's going to be a very busy summer slash autumn slash winter in the world of RTS. Well, probably the first time ever that the vast majority of the people that I follow are actually going to stream a lot of different games. Most of the time it's all one and then temporarily something else, and then we all go back to the same one. No, I do really think that a lot of people are going to go different ways. Which is not a bad thing at all. As long as the nerds are happy. And of course you have your OG Starcraft streamers. Don't think that's going to go anywhere. At least not in my world. And if we have a successful esports World Cup, I think Starcraft will stick around for the foreseeable future. But we'll see how all of that goes. Second command center is done. Quick a third command center this time around by Moja. Obviously last game Moja opened up with those Hellions that morphed into Hellbats, and we had a 2Rex Reaper. This is a bit different. This is the game version of the 8 Rex. I feel like this one actually hits a little bit harder. If I have to compare this and the previous game to some of the scenarios that I face as Protoss, you have people that 3 Rex after a Reaper, and it's like, oh, okay, it's still 3 Rex, it's annoying. But then you also have the Reactor first 3 Rex. And that one is incredibly deadly because they just have so freaking many units. City builders like Frostpunk and Against the Storm. I'm not familiar with those. There was a game that Vicky was playing a couple months ago that she was really into. She really wanted to play with me, and it actually looked kind of fun. City Skylines is the name of that game. But I just I didn't really get into it. I don't know. My PC was derping a little while we tried to play it. Like, that's just the kind of stuff that I think, I'm sure that I would enjoy it, but I would really have to just have time. Like, just sit down, zero stress in my life. Alright, let's play a video game. And I very rarely find myself in that situation. I like to live on the edge. Circling speed about to finish up for SortOf as Moja thinks about YOLOing it with the 4 Hellions and the Reaper here. First Reaper is gonna get picked up. Second Reaper will get surrounded. Third and fourth Reaper gets surrounded. It's for 5 drones. That's honestly not even that bad for Moja, considering the fact that SortOf felt pretty ready. Units in the right position. I think there are some scenarios where that would have gone a lot worse for a German Terran. But it's also not too bad for SortOf, right? Tiny bit of lost mining time, 5 workers for 5 relatively expensive units that could have done something else. And now we can get the creep forward a little bit, which helps against 3 Rex or 8 Rexes. Assuming that we are going to go down that route once more. I think it's more likely that we do than we don't. Yeah, I'm with you, Ian Blue. And we can't ignore how good some of these run-bys were. And perhaps on Alcyone, they'll be even better. Seems like this is the map choice of SortOf. Yes, map 4 is... Actually, I'm not sure about that. I have to go over the other maps again. I mean, Zergs don't really have a lot of great choices. You guys heard Lambo talk about that this morning when we were watching Basilisk against Team Liquid, which feels like a lifetime ago. When your job is to play cast video games, playing video games probably still feels like work. Yeah, not all of them. Like, I'll be honest, if I'm playing F1 with the guys on Discord, that doesn't really feel like work to me. To me, that really does feel like playing a video game. But like sitting down and trying to learn a game like City Skylines, like, yeah, that's a little bit more like work. I know that's silly because I would probably enjoy it if I actually get it. But getting up to the point of learning it and going through the pain before it becomes fun, that can definitely feel like work. They updated the units again in Battle Aces. So what happened? Did they buff the gunbot? Can I be the best player in the world for a day? That'd be awesome. Our German Terran guys has the setup that he's been looking for. Triple orbital, double eBay, 1 factory, 1 starport, and 8 barracks. First move out is here. SortOf probably doesn't want to fight with Slowbanes. That would be very risky. I don't think it would be that bad, Steinboken. I'm just not certain if Basilisk is looking for a City Skyline streamer. But if they are, I recommend Vicky. I believe Vicky could do great. He already casted some Starcraft for us in the past. I believe that went incredibly well. He complained a lot about stupid tanks. People loved it. Basilisk Vicky. Why not? 29 Banes are morphing, by the way, by SortOf. That's so many. A lot of them defensively, but also a couple of them offensively. So he is is that an F2? No, don't reveal it. I don't think he actually showed it in range of the Zelnaga Watchtower. But this is such a sexy wall off by Moja. Good luck busting a Rex. But if Moja has no firepower and the Banelings do crash in and the Lings get full wraparound, losing 3 Rexes when you 8-Rexing actually does kind of suck. Coco would be happy. In the end, these units don't really get a whole lot done. Coco is on a team, by the way. He's in the Platinum Heroes. We have 32 Banes. Oh, Marines were very clumped up there for a split second as Moja is going to try to micro his way out of this. But it's so many Banelings this time around by SortOf. And you gotta love this if you're Ricky. And this time he will not make the mistake of chasing a little bit too far off creep. I think that went incredibly good for Mr. Mechanics, who's gonna try to keep the streak up of no 3-0s tonight in the BBB. 2 medevacs full of Marines load up. Moja not happy. Actually, he does what his worst nightmares are made out of, and he drops a 4th command center. Now we get to see Moja play a different game. SortOf does drop an infestation pit as well. He'll probably be looking to fire up that hive just like we saw him do. Oops, actually started a lair too. A hive and a second lair at the same time. I think that's a little much. The double drop in the top left, it doesn't get anything done. The double drop on the bottom right though. That one seems like it's going somewhere. Oh really? SortOf is kind of everywhere he needs to be. 137 Zerglings. What are these? Wasp? Kinda would be cool if the Zergling could get a little upgrade where it attacks like the Wasp. Perhaps that is what Starcraft 3 needs, guys. Adrenal Glands 2.0. Zergling now turns into a tiny Wasp. Does splash damage. They're free? What is... Oh, you mean on the unit selection thing? Yeah, that's okay. Most people don't know how to deal with them. It's all good. Moja has dropped a command center, guys, in the center of the map. On the wrong side. Apparently says, I don't need that refinery. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody take this base. Like this. Normally that comes down to Bly. But apparently Moja is willing to become Bly. Moja does speak Russian, I believe. Because he's got some Russian roots. Even though he is German, plays under the German flag, and has been in Germany for, I think, his entire life, or at least the vast majority of it. But apparently he discusses some Starcraft 2 things in Russian with SKillous. I vaguely remember hearing about this a long time ago. This army, by the way, if you can get 2 ultras out with kindness plating, you wipe the floor with this army, but we don't have ultras with kindness plating, and SortOf may have all the money in the world. He's got 38 larvae, that's decent. He's setting up maybe the units. Are we sending it? Yes, we are sending it before a couple of very big upgrades though. But it is a very sexy, beautiful 360 no scope bailing surround. Are we running out of Mountain Dew with these banes? Not quite. Burrow would be fun here, by the way, just burrowing a couple of units. 100 Zerglings, guys, on the production tab is 25 extra banelings morph. Obviously that was not a bad fight by Moja as he kept a lot of units alive, but since SortOf was ahead and is so rich, he can just immediately remax on 100 additional units. That's gonna make life incredibly difficult. We have 3 tanks on the production tab for Moja. This is an awkward fight, by the way, by Lynx. But the wraparound here is good. Fighting near planetary though, I'm not sure about this. Mr. Mechanics Bergman, you can only really justify this if you can actually kill this PF. He does have units in the natural, in the third base too, and we've got enough banelings to blow up the PF. So that makes it good. Apparently we had enough links to take out 3 Rexes, yes. Has nibbled his way through the entire wall up. That's kind of sick. That's actually kind of sick. Moja does have this base too, as he dropped another command center. That's also going to morph into a planetary. But Moja does not have Liberators, does not have Gulfs. He's not the kind of Terran to really rush into those kinds of units, so he's going to do fine against Lynx and Banes for a little while, perhaps for a long time. But will he do fine against Ultras? The answer is probably not. Unless SortOf would somehow have a very derpy fight. These Lynx are about to be as strong as they will ever be. +3 carapace done, +3 melee, seconds away from finishing up. And we've got Adrenal Glands done already as well. This should be SortOf his game, guys, which means that we get a perfect night at the evening. A perfect night at the office, rather. Not at the evening, sorry. It's been a very long day for me, guys. My head is spinning. Too much talking, too much Starcraft. But not a single 3-0. A 3-1, a 3-2, a 3-1. And I think that these two are going to be all tied up after 2. Unless Moja somehow turns this around. But without goals, without Liberators, this should be impossible, right? Mr. Mechanics showed us that he still has some of them mechanics. The Remax with the 100 Lings and the 25 Banes, I think really saved us here. Got a Viper in the mix. I do think SortOf doesn't shy away from using a Spellcaster. May not be like his favorite part of StarCraft 2, but I think he's alright with them. My carriers have been abducted by his Vipers. I can let you guys know that much. Making his way through these rocks. Moja has a very strong defensive setup, 6 tanks, 9 marauders, 53 marines, but SortOf his army should just be bigger and more powerful here. The Lings are going to get obliterated rather quickly, but we have a Blinding Cloud in the mix. It's going to make it impossible for some of these tanks to participate in the fight. It seems that Moja won on the right side near his planetary, but over here, can we somehow deal with them final ultras? I have a very hard time believing that we can, as the Banes blow up most of those SCVs. The Ultra Meatrender is here too. And I want to say that will do it, but will that be the case actually? And Moja still has 56 army supply. Most of it is in medevacs though. These final two ultras are difficult, and if Moja would have spent all this money on buy units, maybe he could have hung in there just a little bit longer. But that is not the case. We are all tied up after 2. Little round of applause for myself. Excellent matchmaking tonight, guys. Woohoo! We've done it. We may be old and overworked, but we've done it. Still got it. On the opening day of TwitchCon in RotterdaM. Vicky is hating me. It's supposed to be done at this point. All she wants to do is have dinner for once on a Friday night at a normal time. Not this week, honey. Gamers are gaming. Rexes are being built. Lots of Marines are being produced. We have 2 lobbies, apparently. Both players going over the replay for a split second. Fun stuff. We know, Pi. You're a real one, my friend. You are a real one. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. One day you'll get revenge on Lino. You can take Lino, right? Or you're gonna lose to that tall German nerd. You wreck Lino at the Home Story Cup? Lino's been too busy running a company. Not enough time for the video game anymore. Lino Pi next week. I believe that next week is esports qualifiers time, esports World Cup, but I need to double check that. But I'm like 98, I mean some of you guys can check that for me, but I'm like 98% certain that next week on a Friday there is esports World Cup qualifiers, and obviously that's a little too important to clash with. So if that is the case, I'm obviously focusing on those, and I will not be casting any BBB. Is Esports World Cup the Riyadh Masters equivalent? It's bigger than that. It's, I guess, what Gamers 8 was last year, but Gamers 8 didn't have the prestige that the Esports World Cup should have this summer and will have in the future.
Round 3. Fight!
Yeah. Here we go. Amphion. Top left side, representing Root Gaming, if that is still accurate. At least it's here. Love to see it. A proper blast from the past, as Root was obviously around in 2010, 2011, the early days. MLG, Cats, Destiny, you know it, they were there. This is SortOf. Special was on the Root like 7 times. He joined, he left, he joined, he left, he joined, he left. Big shout out to Juanito, legend. Bottom left side of Amphion, we're looking in the main base of the man who is most likely gonna end up with 1 factory, 1 barracks, excuse me, 1 factory, 1 starport, and 8 barracks. And this is a decent map for it as well. We might even go for a more extreme version where we can cut a severe production and it hits just a little bit earlier. The German Terran and Moja. Shout out to all 8 players obviously who played tonight. I hope they had fun. Pi, Serral, Hydra, Aristori, Nicorakt and Art. Everyone has I think put on a great show. Couldn't do it without them. Could have played some ladder games, but I don't know if that would have been as exciting. Too many barcodes in those. I just have to play Padel tomorrow morning. Now I have 2 mornings where I have an official match, and one of them is at 10 AM and the other one is at 9 AM. Now I really hope that tomorrow is 10 AM, as we have the Reaper hopping into the natural. And now I need closure, so I need to double check this. 10! Saved. Easy. Time to dominate. I hope. Sort of with 6 Zerglings. Korean defense, mate. Or at least Solar's defense. Doesn't Solar always make 6lings and everybody else makes 4? But I guess on a map with a ramp, you think back of the Babylon days, you now think of Amphion, it's probably not really needed to make 6 Zerglings. Could be a tiny misclick. Second barracks already by Moja. The man doesn't have a starport yet. Triple CC 211? Is that what we are looking at? Started their day of video games around noon. 10:15 at this point. It's almost like having a real job, guys. Almost. A third barracks, so I'm very confused about what Moja is doing here because we still don't have a starport. I'm sure he's doing whatever he's doing right now for a reason. I don't know if he saw something that scared him. But tiny bit confused. It is gonna give him a crazy amount of units. Still building SCVs. Where is that starport? Oh my goodness, what is this? Guys, we're just gonna do it without. How YOLO is Moja? You think he's gonna make hellbats? I don't even know if he's gonna do that. I feel like we're just pulling the boys. Marine all inning, baby. Wait, now he's building double EVA as well? I'm so confused. There has to be something about this. Nice tiny link scout, by the way, there by SortOf. I think that is a very useful scout. As this Overlord is going to get revealed. I mean, he actually only saw the Marines. Maybe that doesn't tell him that much. But what we have seen on the side of SortOf is that the Hellion count is low. SortOf is dropping his Baneling Nest now. He definitely didn't have one yet. Alright, here's our starport. So it's just a different way of getting a lot of Marines very, very early. Like, I've seen Spirit do some all-ins on this map where they basically cut SCV production relatively early. We'll see. There's no lair yet, by the way, on the side of SortOf, because SortOf has gone double Evo. And he's investing in those upgrades. Maybe Moja can find some sort of a sick fight before baning speed. That'd be something. SortOf is a little bit confused about everything that's happening as well. And rightfully so. Gonna put the Zergling on patrol here. Eba says 228 Rex is my call. Wow, the 8 Rexes is not a very hard call. I'm just a bit surprised about the way that we got there, but I guess it's okay. It's just different. It is just slightly different than what we are used to. But it works. All roads lead to 8 Rex. Wait, second factory. Oh my. He's a different animal. Second factory and a starport. He's pretending. Is that so, Eva? Alright. Double drop is gonna try to get lucky on the other side of the map. We have a few drones mining out their mineral patches. It does not look optimal now, but it is something. And obviously, if your opponent is like convinced that you are gonna 8-Rex or do something else is very crazy, taking a very weird route to a certain macro destination is sometimes not the worst part, because players will start freaking themselves out, overmake units, slow down their own economy. Yeah, this is not a fight you can cannot really go through this with Zerglings. Moja actually killing a couple of drones here, and he's gonna get another crit tumor as well. This is an incredibly annoying spot for SortOf. And with slow banelings, I'm gonna say it's hard, but he is gonna try to go through it. Nice target fire there by Moja. Alright, Moja.
Liquid Clem.
We'll take that. I am very concerned actually for SortOf here. Oh, this is so awkward. Now he's going to be forced to turn around because he can't really easily get through those mineral patches. Oh, this is a total disaster for SortOf now. As he desperately wants to mine out them patches, but he just can't quite do it. Another scan goes down. At least this creep tumor survives. I want to say that is kind of nice. But that's literally the only thing that's nice. SortOf is now thinking about an all-out counterattack, and it's just depots here. So maybe, if we can open up them floodgates in the natural of Moja, there is still a world where SortOf, a Swedish Zerg, can make something of this, but this is just starting to look like hell. Where is Mixu? Where is Mixu? And can he tell me that this is hell? Because this really does seem like it's hell. I think maybe with a couple of banelings we had a tiny bit of run by potential, but it's just Zerglings, and that's going to give Moja enough time to pull over the SCVs. Get some clutch repairs in. And good luck engaging this with Link Bane. Mix is getting destroyed in Battle Oasis. By who? Queens are getting obliterated by Marines and tanks. It sort of is going to try one more time, but Marines... Oh, no, the Marines... Oh, my goodness. Moja is so sick. I actually thought he was stuck there, and I thought he was going to lose each and every single Marine. But somehow the man stood his ground. I don't know if that was on purpose or if he was blocked, but he got a lot of Marines out of there. But the Lynx apparently did break through because perhaps a couple of Banelings blow up that depot. So now SortOf is in the main base of Moja, but is it too late? Because Moja is also in the main base of SortOf. And 20 guys with a gun against just a few baits. I don't know though, it's gonna get a little hectic. I mean, in the main base, Lynx are dancing. And sure, there are plenty of Marines popping, but those are dying as well. Now Moja is deep into the main base of SortOf. That's where the baiting nest is as well. That's where the spawning pool was. As the spawning pool has already died. Now the remaining Lynx can morph into banelings, but Moja is gonna come down the baiting nest too. And SortOf did not rebuild the baiting nest, guys. That means that he now has to wait until the spawning pool is done to then drop a baiting nest. Okay, Moja does not want to lose these 3 tanks. Hashtag roll out. Oh, all 3 tanks die. Missed the mechanics. Wait, these games are sick. These games are actually kind of sick. But poor SortOf, he can't make anything. Oh, he just can't make any. Drop a bailing nest, mate, immediately. Build 17 queens. Spend your money. Anything. What is this? More links. We have a rebuild the wall. Right, here is our second baiting net in the main. Alright. Goes for the main. 6 queens, 22 links. Yeah, it's something, right? Here are these links once more with +2 melee and +2 carapace. Moja again forced to pull. I want to say some SCVs to repair. He's a little bit late, and one of the depots actually gets picked up. You can thank the Lord there are another 40 Zerglings there waiting to run in. 3-3 upgrades on the way from Moja, who is dropping a 4th command center at the 9 o'clock base. Why the hell not? Sick. I can't believe this game is going on. Now SortOf is taking the base at 3. This is turning into quite the legendary edition of the Big Brain Bouts, guys. Obviously with 63 we had a couple of epic ones, and it is not right to throw away the term best ever or one of the best ever too easily. Because I know we've had some pretty banging Friday nights. And I wouldn't say this was the best ever, but it's definitely a memorable one. A far cry from some of the 3-0s with relatively one-sided matches we have seen in the past. SortOf is at 118 supply as another run by in the natural of Moja. These links are going to be annoying. Moja just wants to focus at his Marines and tanks. Find yourself someone in lives who loves you like Moja loves a Marine tank. Like Roddy loves Gunbutt Crusader. Alright, that's a lot of SCVs dying. SortOf is going to send it. Felt like we moved from it a little bit. Queens were leading the charge. I don't know though. Attacking up this ramp. It seems like it's a no-go. I think it is a no-go. I mean, sure, Moja is natural. It's kind of good. Maybe we can get the E-base? Oh, if he would have been able to get the E-base, that would have been sick. There are Marines in the natural. Moja is here with his tanks. Can't really slow this down for a whole lot longer. But 87 army supply, and we are seconds away from +3 attack and +3 carapace finishing up. This should go Moja's way. Will it go Moja's way? Well, 33 baitings is a lot. It is a lot. Max took pole in Austria. Can SortOf take pole on this ramp? No, he cannot. Because there is only one. The Banes are forced to turn around one more time. We drop down to 20. One Baning. Scan goes down. How different are the economies? I mean, SortOf has triple arrow. That means it's massive. And I'm sure Moja could drop a couple of mules, but he might be saving up those mules right now for some scans. Whoa, that's very deep with a couple of these Marines. How many tanks remaining? Only one Marine. Only one tank remaining, but this tank is sick though. It is so well tucked in on the high ground. And SortOf again loses every single Bane, but he's got a few more. Moja, I want to say, is running a little bit low on units. He's got 35 Marines in total. Where are they coming from? They're stimming, yes! And a Starcraft. I love it when Marines are stimming from home to the front lines. Banger game. Absolute banger game. As a few more drones go down, SortOf is wondering how many times do I need to pick up Marines, go for run by skill SCVs. Well, we still have to do that a few more times. This tank, by the way, guys, has 39 kills. 39 kills, but we know what 35 SCV Moja is capable of as he gets deep into at least one of the middle lines of SortOf. But SortOf's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. Moja's got 4 though, to be fair. Only 35 SCVs, but 4 is good. Moja throws down a scan and somehow can only find like 1 creep to 1. There's a few more on the high ground. Seems like he ain't getting those. SortOf with another surround. Oh no, Brad Pitt in the tank is gonna get fully surrounded. He will get picked off. So now Moja, I want to say, is pure Marine, matter of fact. But he did rebuild 2 tanks, and those 2 tanks are making it to the front line. But he's move commanding up a ramp into Banes. Mr. Mechanics has been spending his money, and Moja gets properly pushed back. Right when you think Moja had it, Moja does not have it. Maybe he should have slowed down the game a little bit and actually take care of all this creep. Because it's giving SortOf so much information. I don't think this is GG yet, guys. Because it is a Lair Tech Zerg. It's 2-2 Lair Tech Zerg against 3-3 Bio. So this ain't GG yet. This is a planetary too. It has some gold. No, this is not GG yet. It's way too early to call GG. Even though SortOf is playing very good. He's got a lot of hatcheries, yes. But the only thing he can make are Lings and Banes, mate. And Lings and Banes against 3-3 Bio. Off creep is not going to do very hot. SortOf might win this game, don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's GG yet. Mixer might even say that this position is hell for SortOf as the queens are... Wow, that's... Oh my god, that's 12 queens. We've got 12 queens. We've got a little bit of creep to work with. Reinforcements are going to make their way to the front lines. Those tank shots are juicy. They are monstrous. Can Moja snipe the Banes? The Banes kind of turn around. The SortOf gets the tanks, but sweet baby Jesus, did that cost him a lot of Lings and Banes. He's got 6 Banes remaining. There's a lot of energy on these queens, by the way, so they can save a lot of time for extra banings to finish up. Only 6 banes at the moment. There are 6 more. Even that is not that much. Don't forget, it's 3-3 Bio. But there is a lot of transfused energy. Banings are making it through the cracks. Can we snipe some of these banes, Moja? No, not really. He's losing a lot of metavacs now to all those queens of SortOf. Marine's still standing. Oh my goodness, it's silly. There's 1 bane on the map at the moment. But we still have queens. It's queens against the guy with the gun. Perhaps an age-old fight. No, he turns around. This was actually perhaps the moment against only a single baneling. But Moja turns around. Hello, Benedict. Alright, we're going to pick up 8 Marines, guys, and we go for a drop. After 7 minutes of non-stop battling, Moja realized he's a Terran player. And he's like, I can drop. Against a guy with only Ling Bane, might be pretty good. And 12 queens that are all on the right side. Insane. 1 medevac flies in, not on top of the spore, please. I agree with that, dudes. I absolutely do agree with that. Or dudes, sorry. These 2 queens are gonna try to buy some time, transfuse a little bit too late. 8 marines with +3 attack, +3 armor. They're gonna go for the baneling nest, the second baneling nest of the game. Lings are here. Lings cannot prevent this baneling nest from falling, so we need baneling nest number 3. Builds it again in the main, by the way. Is he not mining gas? Who? Moja? Moja is mining with 1 refinery, mate. He's cooking. He is absolutely cooking. Last time I checked, you don't need gas for marines, baby. Ooh. That is a great run by SortOf. But there are some marines that take care of it. I do start worrying, man. I think Moja's army is just better, guys. I actually think Moja's army is this better. That doesn't mean that SortOf can't win, obviously, with some great bailing connections, but 3-3 bio does not fuck around, and 1 tank became 6 tanks. No bailingness at the moment for SortOf is about to finish up, but 4 bailings will fall. If this hatchery falls, perhaps the hopes and dreams of SortOf will fall. I have casted Bolt against Jaedong a few too many times in my life to count out 3-3 Marines, but there are bailings coming in from 2 different sides, but Moja does not give a damn. He stands there, eats a couple to the face, he eats more to the face, but he also snipes some of them, and that's good enough. After 19 minutes, it is Moja. I told you, it's not game over. You don't sleep on 3-3 Marines, guys. Man, these games are ridiculous. Even when you know it's coming, you know the strategy, it's fun. Absolute chaos. Moja takes the 2-1 lead on Amphion. As we're gonna hop into Crimson Court for game 4. This could be the final game of the night. We can also get one more. I can smell the food that Vicky is making. I'm hungry. I believe Cuckoo was hungry. And then he left. I don't know where Cuckoo went, but... Oh. Moja should be a top player. He's playing like a god. The thing is that Starcraft is such a complex and difficult game that you can look like an absolute god in certain things. Like, I can look like a god with Phoenix Harassment and Zealot A-moving. But there's a whole lot more that comes into play to become a top tier StarCraft 2 player. And this is why Yona is Yona, and there truly is only one. Because Serral is the only one that I can think of that really checks all the freaking boxes of just being god tier in like every single aspect. Well, Moja is clearly good with Marine Tank, but that doesn't make him good with Ghost Liberator, right? And many other scenarios. But it's still fun for us to watch, and I think we can just focus on that. Round 4.
Round 4. Fight!
Top right side of Crimson Court, his second ever appearance in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts, a main event. The first one didn't really work out against Mana. This one is a lot more fun, it's a lot more competitive, but he is down 1-2. Can he turn things around? Mr. Mechanics, Mr. Bergman, sort of. Who are my favorite players? I'd say of the 3 races right now, I like Reynor, Clem, and MaxPax the most. If I have to pick one of each, yes, I am European, I'm biased. Let me have it. Obviously, I do love Hero, and I love Oliveira. I mean, Oliveira is very close to Clem, by the way. When it comes to Korean Zergs, Dark Solar. I mean, Roka's coming back, he looks cool. And obviously, we always love Yona, but if I can only pick one of each race, I'm going with Clement, Reynor, and MaxPax. Bottom left side of Crimson Court, he's 1 map away from winning in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts main event. His first ever in-fight, but hey, he has delivered. And he's absolutely applying for more. This is Moja. It's always Atrax. Yeah, I know. But hey, if he executes it like this, why not? And if Oliveira can do it against Yona, and Gabe can bring it to every single international event, why not? I honestly kind of like these TVCs. If I have to choose between these turtle fest of like Viper Infestor against Ghost and Planetaries and Sensor Towers, or Atrax every game, I pick Atrax every game. I don't care that it's the same strategy, but I just find this a whole lot more fun. Go Wardy. What does Wardy have to do with Moja, sort of? Even though I do love Wardy. What does Wardy have to do with this? So Moja is lagging. German internet, guys. Third world country. Eventually they'll get it together. It's not his fault. This is why we all need to support Germany a little bit. They're about to get bopped by Denmark tomorrow, and they still have bad internet.
Game resumed.
Kidding. Just banter between 2 neighboring countries. No biggie, guys. Seems like we're good to go. I think I've done the introductions. Yeah, and they're nice, eh? I like it. I mean, there's no better time to pick up an orange dragon than the summer of history repeating itself. Because I have a question for you diehard football fans out there. Bayer Leverkusen made it to the finals of the UEFA League this year. Or Europa League, you should call it. Used to be the UEFA Cup. They did the same thing in 1988. In 1988, the Euros were hosted in Germany. They're hosted again in Germany in 2024. In 1998, we sent Erwin Koeman and Ronald Koeman to Germany. We're doing it again in 2024. And in 1988, the Dutch won it all. And we're going to do it again. Oh, careful, Moja, with your Reaper. So there's no better time to pick up an orange dragon than on this magical summer. I know, it's basically a wrap. But I'm also very curious to see who's going to make it into the final, semi-final, who can score a goal against us, you know. These are all things that I'm intrigued over. And I want to find out who's going to put up a good fight. Is the pie the new Van Basten? He's going to have to step it up a little bit for that. But that goal was actually pretty good, huh? The second one. I can't believe that at first the referee said that was hands. I was like, that's nowhere near hands, mate. Like the one time that I was very happy with the VAR. 1998, it was still West Germany. It's okay. That's totally fine testing too. I'm obviously bantering, guys. I'm not a crazy football fanatic where I'm gonna get angry at you guys if you don't cheer for my country. I'm a big fan and I really hope we do well. If we don't, it's gonna hurt for a couple of days and then life goes on, because I'm well aware of the fact that a bunch of millionaires scoring a goal or not is not going to change my life. I'm very well aware of it. But I just love the joy that it brings to my country, how people are nice to each other. I think it's something that's pretty cool. I know, Didas. We went over that. There is something very beautiful about losing to Austria and then seeing a bracket in which you have to play Austria again and talking about how easy the bracket is. That's next level confidence, baby. That's like a fighter who just got knocked out and steps back up and he's like, you want a piece of me? That's us. And I love it. Will MaxPax attend the World Cup in Saudi? I don't know. I don't know anything more than you guys do. I believe there is a chance, but I'm just hopeful. Yeah, I'm watching the Copa America a little bit, but it's just very bad times. It's the same with NBA and NHL. As much as I love some of these sporting events that are happening over in the US, I cannot justify staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. every night, right? But once the playoffs appear in the Copa America, I already told Vicky, babe, I hope you're ready for some all-nighters. She just looked at me like... Yeah, so she knows. If it's Brazil, Argentina time, or Colombia, Uruguay, maybe if America can somehow still advance, I'll stay up and watch. We're currently working with 5 barracks on the side of Moja, as we're going to build 3 more. I'm sure. And sort of working with a lair. With the event, obviously double evo and upgrades before the lair. That means bailing speed is a little bit later. But he seems to think that that is okay, that the upgrades matter the most. And I kind of like the way he's played a lot of it. To be fair, every single loss has been omega competitive. Ultras are amazing. It's just so hard to get there. I mean, the game that sort of won is only because we got up to Hive. It feels that you can't just blindly go into Ultras, of course. Then you just die because you don't have enough units. So something needs to go incredibly right for you. A run by with a good fight or just an amazing fight. And then you can go Ultras. But going Ultras while nothing has happened, yeah, that's a little too dangerous. Great cruise threat, by the way, guys. This game by SortOf. I mean, I know I was talking about other stuff, but in the first 7 minutes, nothing happens between these guys. And I need to save my energy and my voice, because we know it's going to get fucking wild. And I think Crimson Court is a very good map for certain tanks. Like tanks, high ground, low ground, mineral patches that you can take advantage of. Moja knows all he needs is one good fight, and he will walk away with $150 that are provided by Basilisk. SortOf needs to win 2 more games. SortOf is opening up the rocks. I kind of like that. Reynor, take notes, I would almost say. Thank you guys all for stopping by today. I don't really have anything else. Once these games are over, I'm gonna keep it short because I'm exhausted, man. It was a warm day again in the Netherlands. Yeah, we woke up early. We casted a WTL. I barely had like a 1 hour and 20-minute break, so I'm done. I'm gonna keep it short once it's over. I hope you guys had a great time watching Basilisk against DL and a couple ladder games, some battle aces. I can post 10 more codes of battle aces in the chat once the games are over if you guys want to play that. Obviously it is free. You can give it a shot. But perhaps we ain't quite done yet. And SortOf can find the hole. SortOf can find the surrounds that sweet Zerg dreams are made out of. And of course, ! Discord. If you guys have any questions about anything, we can discuss whatever the hell you want. Oh, SortOf. Right kicking the queens then. They've got a lot of energy, but it's still a lot of DPS. Here we go. A 360 no scope knockabrutz around. Is it good enough? Well, those banelings get decent connections, but it's still a lot of Marines left over. It's not bad by SortOf. It is not bad, but it's not bad good enough against an 8-Rex of Moja. Perhaps? Perhaps it is, perhaps it isn't. We have 7 queens remaining. Tank shot is scary. SortOf sets up another flank. Knekkenbrot, IKEA, meatballs round 2. Perhaps even better than the Mountain Dew round, who knows? Well, SortOf's leftover army, excuse me, Moja's leftover army is not all that impressive. This is a good run by at first. I wouldn't like it if SortOf loses all these units by attacking a depot, but we're trading it out from Marines. It may not be that bad. These are the tiny seconds where Moja has a 2 upgrade advantage. Banelings do connect. Marines stim forward. +3 attack on the way for Moja as the tank gets a big hit off. 23 Banelings. That should be good enough. We don't have a surround this time around, so everything is coming down this ramp. And oh, the Banes, they just don't connect. And at least the man gets the tank. Good split by Moja. At least SortOf gets the tank. Oh, now I get your joke, mate. That was a joke at home circle that you guys say Moja looks like Wardy. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Don't totally agree, but I can see that a little bit. I know where it's coming from. Now I get the joke. I hate it when people joke on my channel and don't get it. I don't want to be left out. Moja's forced to split one more time. And he does a very good job in that. Uh-oh, SortOf running very low on Banes, guys. Running incredibly low on Banes, and this is where those Marines feel confident that final Baneling gets sniped, and it's just Marines against Queens. More Marines show up, and Moja joked about 8-Rexing every single game. The Moja has 8-Rex every single game. And is that then good enough? Or will SortOf, his Banelings, finally connect in the way that he needs them to connect? Insanely good splits by Moja. His micro is so good. He is giving me some serious...
Liquid Clem.
The way that he makes those splits look effortless. Beautiful concave, getting on top of these morphing Banes now. A couple Banes will finish up, but he stands his ground. He goes Oliveira, and 1 or 2 Banes connect. But the tanks are getting closer and closer. The drones are going to be pulled. SortOf with his final queens, with his drones, with his links. It's not going to be good enough, guys. It's so close, but it's just, I don't think quite good enough. It is Moja, the sensation of Home Story Cup, that continues to turn all of us into believers as he gets a 3-1 victory in the main event of the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts. Really fun series, even if we went with the same build, but I knew that that was going to happen. Yeah, I loved it. Well done. Great performance. Obviously nice for SortOf that he could really kind of show us what he's made of as well. And I'm sure that he enjoyed this more than the games against Mana, as those were a little bit one-sided. I'm sure he would have loved the win, but it is what it is. 50 buckies go to SortOf, 150 buckies go to Moja. And that is all I got for today. I'm tired. I am done. I'm gonna fly around my... Hey, where's my dragon? I'm gonna fly my dragon around. My orange dragon. The champion dragon. Thank you, nice and easy, for the 16 months. My throat kind of hurts too. Just too many words, guys. I'm not quite going to sleep. We're gonna chill a little bit. I'm gonna have food because the last thing I ate was at 4 p.m. So we'll have a very late dinner, and then we're just gonna relax a little. I don't know. Watch Cuckoo lose in Battle Aces. Something among those lines. It was fun. Great night. Not a single 3-0. So we have a 3-1, a 3-2, a 3-1, right? And a 3-1. At least we avoided the 3-0s. And also, I think 3 out of 4 underdogs winning, or 2 out of 4, whatever it is. But you guys mostly believed in SortOf, but it's Moja who continues his hot run of playing well. That is all I got. Now, we did have the host redemption, I have to see. So, Fear Dragon asked me to host Juggernaut Jason because it's his birthday, and I think that's a very good reason. Somebody else redeemed points for me to host Nuro because he's doing a subathon, which I think is less of a good reason. Is Nuro actually alive at this point? I mean, he's playing Dota at the moment. I think I would rather do that on a different day. I think Jason, who's playing Starcraft 2, if it is his birthday, I think I'll just give the points back, and we will host Nuro on a different day, if the man is okay with it. If he's not okay with that, obviously I don't want to upset anyone, and I'll do it his way. But I would like it. Is he still here? I know he said he had to go. Where are you, mate? What was his username again, guys? I can actually find that back. GG's. GG. It's all good. Are you okay with that? Yeah, okay. I'll definitely give you the points back, mate, and I'll promise the first time I see Nuro live, I will send him his UA, and we don't even have to do the channel points thing, so I'll give you your points back. I think it will be nice, A, to host a StarCraft stream, because that's good for StarCraft, and B, if it's Jason's birthday, I think that's a very good reason. So you got the points back. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate it. And that's all I got. Have a good night, guys. Much love. I love all of you. Enjoy your weekend. If you guys are going to TwitchCon, let me know. Tomorrow, Cuckoo, Vicky, and me are going to be in town for a little bit. We might actually travel a little bit throughout the country as well. But definitely the plan is to stop by at the entrance of TwitchCon and see what's up. Then go to the city, eat bitterballen, have a cocktail. I won't be streaming any StarCraft tomorrow, but I will maybe stream some Padel in the early morning. Take care. Bye-bye.